Kamala Harris also was treated to the red carpet by Drew Barrymore. So why Drew Barrymore has a talk show is absolutely beyond me. It's unwatchably bad. Every single episode that I see of this, every clip I see from her show is just painful. Absolutely painful. She hasn't done anything good since E.T. when she was like 4. Anyway, Drew Barrymore decides that she is going to call Kamala Harris Momala Harris. Can I just say something about anyone who treats a politician as a parent? Seriously, recalibrate your standards. Recalibrate them. There's a bunch of this during the Obama era. And Chris Rock famously suggested that Barack Obama was like the country's dad. No, he wasn't. And if you look to Barack Obama as your father, you need a better father figure. If you look to any politician as daddy, you're pathetic. You're a loser. Okay, and Drew Barrymore treating Kamala Harris as mom. So first of all, Kamala Harris is a stepmother. She married her husband, Doug Emhoff. He had 2 children from his previous marriage when they got married. Those kids were already grown by the time she married. In any case, we're not supposed to treat her as the country's mother. Man, you want kids to get out of the house and get their own apartment. Make Kamala Harris their mom. That'd be the way to do that. Here's Kamala Harris being called Mamala by Drew Barrymore in a clip that just makes you want to drink bleach.
I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now. Yeah. But in our country,
oh, we don't.
We need you to be Mamala of the country.
A Mamala of the country? Sure. Clip 2, clapping seals. No, we need you to be the Mamala of the... No, we don't. Stop being paternalistic and maternalistic about government. I need these people to leave me alone and not bother me ever again. That's what I need from them. I need Joe Biden to be not incompetent and to make sure that people don't commit terror attacks in the homeland and that bridges don't collapse. Like, these are the things. You know what I don't need? Joe Biden to be my father or Kamala Harris to be my mother. I have parents. They're awesome. Like, honest, anyone ever who says that they need a politician to be a parental figure to them should not be trusted under any circumstances whatsoever. By the way, if Joe Biden is the dad of the country, he's the world's most permissive dad, the Biden administration is now going to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug, which is kind of an incredible thing given the fact that we now have all sorts of research coming out about how much more potent marijuana is than it was when you were a kid, about how it is, in fact, highly addictive, that it is significantly more powerful, again, than the same drug was 20, 30 years ago, and that a huge number of people are dying of fentanyl poisoning because marijuana is now being laced with things like fentanyl. Moving marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which makes it obtainable with a simple prescription and basically gets rid of criminal penalties for holding marijuana, is a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake. I mean, again, the number of Americans who are currently using marijuana is at an all-time high, and it's robbing younger people, particularly of brain development. And Joe Biden is out there letting it go because, again, everything Joe Biden does is geared toward pleasing moron college students who smoke pot and love Hamas. That apparently is his entire campaign. Well, good luck with that, Joe. $20 will barely buy you anything these days. Thanks, Joe Biden. You can't even fill your gas tank for less than $20. But do you know what $20 will get you? Well, from the cell phone company I use, Pure Talk, you can get unlimited talk, text, plenty of 5G data for just $20 a month. Pure Talk gives you the same quality of service as your current cell phone provider, but for about half the cost. The average family saves almost $1,000 a year, all with no contracts and no activation fees. You can switch to Pure Talk and keep the phone and phone number you currently use, or you can take advantage of their great deals on the latest iPhones and Androids. Making the switch is incredibly easy. Their U.S. customer service team can help you join Pure Talk in as little as 10 minutes. Choose to spend your hard-earned money with a wireless company that shares your values, supports our military and veterans, creates American jobs, and refuses to advertise on, the fake news networks. Stop spending a ridiculous amount of money on your phone plan. Go to puretalk.com/Shapiro. Right now, my listeners can get an additional 50% off their very first month of coverage. That's puretalk.com/Shapiro. Again, puretalk.com/Shapiro to get started. My listeners get 50% off their very first month. puretalk.com/Shapiro. So over the last couple of days, Joe Biden decided to go on a charm offensive by visiting with Howard Stern. Now, Howard Stern has passed his sell-by date. Yeah, we all remember being in high school and he was on the radio and he was the guy you weren't supposed to listen to because he was doing salacious stuff about how horny he was and having various beautiful porn stars into his studio where he would ask them very graphic questions about sex. And then every so often you have a politician on, ask them irreverent questions that were really offensive and all this kind of stuff. He was transgressive. That was Howard Stern. Well, now Howard Stern has just become your kind of annoyingly gross elderly uncle. The guy who makes like the occasional dirty joke at a barbecue, but seems to parrot all of the latest nostrums from the New York Times. That's who Howard Stern is now. This is what happens when shock jocks just get old. Howard Stern is currently, by the way, 70 years of age. Howard Stern is 70. Okay, so he's only 10 years younger than Joe Biden. And he's still sitting around talking about TNA. Or alternatively, he's not, because everything's sagging, including his brain. And here is Howard Stern asking a series of sycophantic questions to Joe Biden.
The reason I'm so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it. And you're the kind of leader I love, because we're lucky to have you in the Oval Office and serving as the father of the country. Because if you're a good father to your family, which you are, I know you'd be a good father to the country. And I want to thank you for providing a calming influence, an organized administration post-COVID, getting that vaccine out. I remember what the world was like at that point, getting NATO, getting us to feel comfortable, standing up to Putin, the incredible large growth in the jobs, unemployment rate down.
I mean, wow. That is a take. Who's the bigger mush brain in that interview? I love that Joe Biden's sitting there like, oh. Joe Biden doesn't even know what's going on. They keep cutting to him, looking for reaction. And he's kind of like asleep. It's like Donald Trump at a deposition. Like it's really amazing stuff. Howard Stern, that breaker of barriers, that man who would say anything, shock jock. I mean, I will say it's kind of shocking to hear him claim that this has been an organized administration that has calmed the country. That one's kind of shocking since no one agrees with him. Well, the Biden administration is fading. I mean, by the polling data, things are not looking good. There's a poll that came out just a couple of days ago showing Joe Biden down by the most he's been down in a poll in quite a while. It was a CNN poll, and it showed Joe Biden down to Donald Trump by 6 points, 49 to 43. A Harvard Harris poll that came out the other day has Trump up 4 points, 52 to 48. Morning Consult has the two locked in a tie. The only poll in the last 10 that has Joe Biden ahead is from NPR PBS Marist. It only has Joe Biden up by 2 points. The margin of error is 4. So that means that is a dead heat. A dead heat means Trump likely wins the election. In the various polling states, Donald Trump is now leading in every single state. In the various swing states, Wisconsin by 2, Arizona by 5, Georgia by 4, Michigan by 1.5, Pennsylvania by 1, North Carolina by 5, Nevada by 5. These are bad polls for Joe Biden. Are you tired of the lies and the twist of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.